oorun mọ́ ẹni tó bá dẹ̀ fẹ́ fún mi lówó tó bá ti rún mọ́ mi lọ́wọ́ mi ní gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ màá ní kó nà kó jẹ́ kí n rí.
Handle it very well. We don't need to handle it anyhow because it is our naira. And if we abuse it, it means we are abusing our country.
Despite the fact that some residents of Akure, the Ondo State capital, are aware of the rules guiding the nation's legal tender, the naira, many, especially traders, disregard these rules and mishandle the naira. Spraying, dancing, and stamping on the naira banknotes in parties, sales, the notes, mutilation, as well as writing of the nation's currency are among ways in which Nigerians disregard the sanctity of the legal tender. In line with CBN Act Section 21 and Section 20, subsection 5, those found guilty of abusing the naira would face the wrath of the law. A legal practitioner, Rotimi Olorunfemi, confirmed that abuse of naira is a grievous offense which comes with dire consequences.
They have a policy to maintain that. So it is that policy that the central bank is working on. That is what even informed the inclusion of that particular section to punish those who abuse the naira in the act. It's not a law. And the EFCC, being the body charged with protecting economy or protecting and fighting economic and financial crime, is saddled with the responsibility of giving effect to that provision of the CBN Act.
A financial expert, Adeola Imane, who highlighted some potential consequences following the mishandling of the naira, said the currency is expected to remain in circulation for a specific number of years before being faded out.
The purpose of wallets, for those who cannot keep wallets, can keep in a purse, or even if you put it in your pocket, you don't have to squeeze, and because you reduce the market value or the longevity of that note the moment you handle it anyhow. When the country is supposed to have it in circulation for 20 years, we cannot have it up to 10 years. Then we are spending our hard-earned naira again to go and mint or reprint, which is actually costing the country a whole lot of money. So if we are saying we are managing our economy, it should be on all sides. Everybody has a duty to that.
For the general public, what is the level of their awareness of the rules guiding the handling of the and implications of going against those rules? Director, National Orientation Agency, Ondo State, Adelayo Adifolalu, confirmed that the agency is always out to sensitize the general public on the best way to live a good life, including proper handling of the nation's legal tender.
We carry out sensitization. It's a continuous one. We'll be doing this yearly, periodically. In fact, every September 16 of every year has been set aside to commemorate the date the naira with this. The national symbol was signed into law, as far as the flag. 1960 September, the flag was signed into law. So, and the flag, as you know, is part of the national symbols. So we go around to sensitize our people that all these national symbols, be it the naira, the passports, the national anthem, the coat of arms, even the ID card are national symbols. We must respect them and regard them as such.
Reacting to the recent prosecution of a Nigerian cross-dresser, Idris Okuneye, popularly called Bobrisky, the respondents referred to his prosecution as a lesson to erring Nigerians, saying the need for stringent enforcement of these laws is necessary.
Now, law enforcement agencies or EFCC in particular had to go beyond Bobrisky to narrow this down, because the moment when you see people parking a park of naira and splashing it and people marching on it, and before you know it, that money has almost turned out of.
I think this case should be a lesson to all of us. It should be a local class course to Nigerians that naira abuse by spraying at parties is bad. Just because you want to show kind of ego. So
it will serve as a deterrent to others, as a warning to others to desist, to shun the habit of misusing or mutilating the naira.
The EFCC has taken this further by arraigning a popular Nigerian celebrity, Pascal Okechukwu, better known as Cubana, chief priest, before a federal high court in Lagos State. Okechukwu is facing 3 counts of allegedly spraying and tampering with the naira at a special event, contrary to the provisions of the Central Bank Act of 2007. with ongoing investigations by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission into alleged cases of Naira abuse, it remains paramount for citizens to heed the call for adherence to regulations governing the nation's currency. Omoriola Humbiji, Osrc News.
The Ondo State Commissioner for Water Resources, Public Sanitation and Hygiene, Mr. Sunday Akinwale, has urged 44 staff of the Ondo State Water Corporation due for promotion during the ongoing 2024 promotion exercise to be innovative to ensure a smooth running of government activities as an engine room. He urged them to be dedicated, committed, and to bear in mind that as they move up the ladder, the greater the output expected. Administrative Secretary Mrs. Victoria Adetoye lauded the state government for not denying civil servants of promotion. She enjoined participants not to jeopardize with the privilege but improve efficiency in their new position. The National Parent-Teacher Association of Nigeria has expressed support for the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman's recent pronouncement to peg the tertiary education admission age limit in Nigeria to 18 years instead of the current 16 years. The national president of the association, Aruna Danjuma, explained that for the Minister of Education to have had his view again about the 18-year age limit for tertiary education admission is a way of reminding parents of the risk to rushing their children's education. He therefore urged the federal government to co-opt the three major examining bodies in the country, the West African Examination Council, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, and the National Examination Council to make the proposal a policy that would work effectively. The federal government has revoked 924 dormant licenses spanning exploration, mining, small-scale and quarry licenses in an effort to sanitize the mining sector. The Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, who made the announcement at a press conference, declared that in line with constitutional provisions, adequate notice was given to all concerned parties through the Official Gazette of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, number 227, which was published on 27 December 2023. According to him, the notice gave all concerned parties 30 days to regularize their status, including clarifying what caused the license to be dormant. Thus, although 963 licenses were published and notified of the threat of revocation, no fewer than 39 either moved to the site immediately or convinced the authorities of the challenges in doing the operations. Given the proceeding, Mr. Alake affirmed the revocation of 928 dormant licenses, which include 528 exploration licenses, 20 mining leases, 101 quarry licenses, and 273 small-scale mining licenses. The federal government has expressed commitment to strengthening cooperation with the International Organization for Migration to enhance border security. Minister of Interior Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo spoke when of the International Organization for Migration Nigeria, Laurent de Bourg, paid him a courteous visit in Abuja. Tunji-Ojo, who stressed the need for synergy, expressed satisfaction with the update on the progress made and commended the organization on the collaboration with the Nigeria Immigration Service, especially on the issue of the Migration Information and Data Analysis System, which has made access to information and data quite seamless. Director, Information and Public Relations, Ozoya Imohimi, in a statement on Wednesday, said the minister emphasized the need to integrate the system, solution, and Interpol 24/7, which is described as very key to national security architecture and enhancement of border security. We're due to take a break on the news at 7. We'll be back with more stories. Please stay. Thank you for joining us on the news tonight. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook, OSRC TV, and on YouTube. You can subscribe to our channel, OSRC TV, Ondo. To more stories now, as the world commemorates this year's World Malaria Day, Nigerians have been advised to maintain clean environment and live a healthy life free of malaria. Medical experts who spoke to SRC in Accra, the state capital, said it requires collective efforts to eradicate the disease. Omar Olambiji reports that the theme for this year's World Malaria Day is accelerating the fight against malaria for a more equitable world. The report.
In the year 2022, the world witnessed a staggering 608,000 deaths caused by malaria, while 249 million new cases reported globally, underscoring the persistent threats. According to statistics, between 94 and 95% of all malaria cases occurred in the World Health Organization African region, emphasizing the disproportionate impact of the disease on the continent. In Nigeria alone, over 480 billion naira is being spent on testing, procurement of anti-malaria drugs, among others, while Ondo State spends about 12 billion naira on this scourge yearly. Malaria Program Manager in the Department of Public Health, Ministry of Health, Dr. Folayan Abolaji, was speaking on the final reports of Nigeria Malaria Educator Survey year 2021, said the prevalence rate of malaria in Ondo State is 21%, noting that the current government is collaborating with the World Bank on impact projects in bringing malaria to zero level.
In Ondo State, about 3.5 million net was distributed across the state through the partnership of Malaria Consortium. These are fights to actually reduce the incidence and the prevalence of malaria in Ondo State. Of course, we collaborate with Ministry of Environment and other line ministries, for environmental management.
Dr. Michael Ojo speaks on the causes of malaria, especially in African nations, where the weather condition is favorable to the parasite.
The way we live, in terms of people living in areas where they are not well planned, you have repositories of vessels around where malaria parasite can breed. Even when you ask people to to use bed net, go and look at where we distribute bed nets today. Go and look at them. You hardly find less than 10% of them using that bed net again.
OSRC camera lens also captured a group of people called Young Pharmacists Association, offering medical assistance to market women.
In the health sector, we play a prominent role so that a healthy society is a healthy nature. And when people are healthy, there will be increase in productivity.
Test positive to malaria instead of just going to the chemist to just get random anti-malaria. So we want to create a Nigeria that is malaria free, and we equally want to create Akure. We want to make sure that Akure is malaria free.
Permanent Secretary, Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Victor Akombiemu said pregnant women and children from 5 years downward are vulnerable to this scourge, and the Ondo State government is not relenting in reducing the rate of malaria infections.
Ondo State has actually been paying a lot of catapult funds, supporting any initiative from partners, and also on its own funding, single-handedly fund the provision of amenities at the facility, employing health workers to ensure that cases of malaria are handled promptly and effectively.
They called for attitudinal change of the general public in fighting the disease by living a healthy life. Despite these daunting figures, there is cause for hope as global initiatives, partnerships, and advancements in research and technology have contributed to significant reductions in malaria cases and deaths in recent years. Omoriola Hungeji, OSRC News.
Operatives of Ondo State Amatekun Corps have arrested 7 suspected cultists over alleged rape of a 23-year-old girl in Igbokoda, headquarters of Ilaja local government area of the state. Parading the suspects, Amatekun Commander Adetunji Adele said the corps swung into action following complaints received from the victim. Tululope Oyebode has details.
They attacked me. One of them removed gun. He said I should stand. If I run or do anyhow from here, I'll be shot down. So I begged them they should forgive me. What have I done wrong? So from there, they took me to one uncompleted building. He collected this guy, Kazim. He's the only one that I recognize because he's the one that raped me.
Victim of the alleged rape, narrating her ordeal in the hands of the suspects. The 7 suspected cultists are allegedly notorious for perpetrating unrest and raping unsuspecting victims in Ilaje area of Ondo State. The suspects, who eventually met their Waterloo following a tip-off to the men of the Amotekun Corps, and being paraded at the Amotekun Corps headquarters in Akure. Amotekun Commander in Ondo State, Adetunji Adeleye, said the Corps is intensifying war against cultism in the state, which has yielded result with the arrests.
On the 7th of April, a lady alighted from a bus and was subsequently robbed, raped, and malign in Igbokoda. During the attack, her cell phone was stolen, her money was stolen, she was raped, and she was beaten mercilessly, and her dress is torn. We were able to apprehend 2 initially of the suspects, who led us to the houses of 7 others, out of which we were equally able to arrest additional 5 of them.
The suspects, according to the Amotekun commander, will be arraigned in court to face the full wrath of the law. Tolulope Oyebode, OSRC News.
Now let's bring you more detail about the just concluded primary election of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Delegates from the 18 local government area of Ondo State converged on the International Culture and Event Center, the Dome, to elect the flag bearer of the party. After hours of that process, a former deputy governor of Ondo State, Ajayi Agbola, emerged as the flag bearer of the People's Democratic Party. The exercise had security personnel and INEC officials in attendance. The report. On the D-Day for the primary election of the People's Democratic Party in Ondo State, the venue of the exercise, the International Culture and Event Center, the Dome, was a convergence point for delegates from across the state who will elect the party's flag bearer for the November 2024 governorship poll. In attendance also are officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission led by the State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Mrs. Toyin Babalola, security agencies, journalists and observers. Chairman of the 7-man election committee and Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, Lawrence Erujapo, addresses journalists pledging to oversee a transparent process.
The aspirants are in high spirits, and they've all assured me that they will agree to work together for whoever emerges as a candidate. Because it's not who the ants that saw the sugar that is the problem. It's how the sugar can be taken home. That's the problem of the ants. And so the problem of our party is how we can get power back from the APC that has been taking over power from us for the past 8 years. So we're expecting a very transparent, free, fair, credible, and rancor-free elections. And I've gotten the commitment of all the aspirants that they will abide by the outcome, and we're going to make it as transparent as possible.
The accreditation for the 627 delegates from the 203 wards in the state to participate began, with the party faithful subjected to vetting by officials of the committee one after another. After a 2-layered accreditation process, the delegate filed into the auditorium to cast their ballot and thereafter depart the venue. Some of the delegates commended the process, describing it as peaceful and worth the effort.
Peaceful, well organized. And these are the ethics of democracy we want.
The process has been very, very credible, very open, and we just believe that the best candidate should win.
Sorting of the votes cast into the 10 ballot boxes set aside for the exercise then commenced. The election committee began the counting of the votes under the watchful eyes of the aspirants and their agents. After the process, the returning officer announced former Deputy Governor Agbola Ajayi as winner of the primary election.
Agbola, having scored the highest number of votes, is hereby declared the winner of this primary and hereby declared the candidate of the People's Democratic Party for the November 2024 election.
Agbola Ajayi defeated 6 other governorship aspirants to clinch the PDP ticket with 264 votes out of the 621 accredited votes, making 42% of the total votes. Kolade Akinjo polled 157 votes, Akinboye Bamidele polled 24 votes, while Akinwumi Harrison polled 64 of the delegate votes. Odeayebon Tubosun Arebua scored 2 votes. Shola Ebisheni scored 99 votes. Adeolu Akinwumi polled 64 votes. Bamidele Akinboye 24 votes. Bosun Arebua scored 2 votes, and John Olamafo polled 9 votes. Now that the flag bearer of the opposition party has emerged, the task of strategizing for the main election will now be the utmost priority of the People's Democratic Party. Sahid Aribisala, Osrc News. Well, with that story, we've come to the end of the news at 7. Thanks for watching. Good evening.